Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another. Okay, all right, I'm checking something. Okay, welcome to another evening of our program, Mentorship, uh, brought to you by Plain Men with the a purpose. And this is our Facebook page, Brothers for a Better Benton Harbor. And we're coming to you with a subject. Almost had a glitch there. Our subject for tonight is mistakes. And so in this the third session, and you're going to be hearing from our speaker, Mr. Tony, and he'll be coming to you right now.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is A.Andrews, and we'll be talking about mistakes, as the dictionary defines it as an action or judgment misguided. Wow, mistakes is something else. Hey, a lot of you are here through a mistake, and thank God. I tell you, mistakes can be a good thing, and it can be a bad thing. The Wright brothers didn't learn how to fly until they made a few mistakes. Apollo 11 didn't land on the moon. It landed on the moon because of a mistake. They was off the regular mark, which wasn't actually taking them to the right landing site. And they made a mistake and put the different numbers in. And that made them land on the moon successfully. So, mistakes can be done. Without a mistake, Adam and Eve, the mistake of him eating the apple, that right there was a bad mistake in some people's mind, but yet it was a good mistake. Because now we have a definition of we have to work, and we have to work by the brow of our head, which is a good thing. A man don't work, a man don't eat. So we got to look at our mistakes that we make. I made a mistake by you not following the laws of the land. You make a mistake, you end up in jail. I made a mistake. I was climbing a tree, trying to rush, trying to be money hungry, put my foot on the wrong limb, slipped and fell. But that was a good mistake because that was the best fall that I ever did in my life. As you can say, I may fail, but yet I was lifted up in Christ. So, we look at our mistakes and we try to learn from the mistakes that we make. Because, just because we make a mistake, you just don't lay down on it and say, oh man, no, you learn from that mistake to not make that mistake. It's just like driving down the road. If you go down the road and it's a bunch of holes on that street that shake you all over, boom, 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 you say, hey, I made a mistake and turned down the wrong road. So, do you make that same mistake over again, or do you find another path? So some mistakes can be good. And if you notice, if you ever been out of town driving, and you be looking for a road, say the name may be Cross Street, but you turn on Levette Street. And you're like, I'm on Levette, I'm supposed to be on Cross. But then at the end of the road, you go down to the end of Levette, you run right into Cross. So, was that a mistake? Yeah, to you it was a mistake, but yet it led you in the right direction. So sometimes taking the wrong direction, making a mistake. If you ever traveled on the highway, you may saying my destination may be Cross, and you be on another road. You'd be like, I'm all on the wrong road, but yet it was a shortcut to Cross. You'd be like, oh, wow. But my GPS said I had 11 more miles to go. But I'm right here. So, hey, another good mistake. And you learned. Now you know a shortcut, how to get to Cross instead of taking a long way around Levette. Oh, no, I'll take Levette to get you to Cross as a short way instead of going down Colfax or something. I'm using streets that's familiar around in my area. But yet the point is, mistakes can be good and very knowledgeable to you. And then those are good mistakes. But your bad mistakes is there's only a good and a bad mistake. One good mistake is that you can go to jail. I made a mistake, got in trouble, ended up going to jail. You can correct that when you get out of jail. You cannot make that mistake again to make you go back to jail. But there's one mistake that you can't correct, and that's when if you're playing Russian roulette with a gun and you shoot yourself or you get shot. That's a judgment you can't change and you cannot correct it.
That's right.
It's bam, you dead, you done. The best thing you better have is yourself right with Christ. So see, these mistakes are good, and then there's bad mistakes. But the most of all of a mistake, you got to learn from them to where it builds your character. Mistakes have been made all over the land and all through down through time, but they learned from them because without a mistake, you never would know how to do certain things. So you got to have a mistake to learn the pattern of doing some things. So don't take a mistake as my downfall. Now you take the mistake as your upbringing. Say, hey, look what I learned. I made a mistake, so I know that don't go that way. So now I'm gonna do it this way. Either I'm gonna go right to the same mistake or go left to the new me. I'm saying I'm going in a new route, a more smoother route. So there's good and bad mistakes, but they all are for a purpose. Hey, sexually, oops, I made a mistake and then put a condom on and had a baby. But was that a mistake? And then that baby that you had might be the president, might be the best jazz singer, might be someone that touched people's heart all over the world. So that was a glorious mistake.
Interesting.
Things like that, God control. There's never a mistake in a pregnancy. It just don't work that way. God has a purpose for everyone, no matter how you get here, through a mistake or on purpose. There's a purpose for you in life. So don't take a mistake as a downfall. Take a mistake as building blocks to say, hey, I'm building off this mistake to a new level, to a correctness, to a betterness, to better me. And then through that mistake, you can tell somebody, hey, don't go down that road because it's bumpy. Go down the next road and it's a lot smoother. That's just like parents. We as parents, we tell our kids our mistakes, stupid stuff we done, but yet, hey, it's old age and then there's new age, but it's just the same thing. A mistake is a mistake, no matter when it is, or how it is, or when you do it, or where you do it. It's still a mistake. But the thing of it is, what do you learn from that mistake to better yourself and to better someone else? So you got to have mistakes in life. Nobody's going to live on this planet without making a mistake. You may think you are. There's our perfectionist people. Everything got to be done right. But how do you think they learned how to do something right if they didn't make a few mistakes? So you got to have some mistakes to learn how things work. Hey, just because I had a mistake walking this way, don't mean you're going to have a mistake walking that way. So what lies for me is not necessarily going to lie for you. But the thing of it is what you get out of it afterwards. What have I learned to better myself?
True.
Each individual mistakes are different, but yet they are very important for that individual. Not for everyone, but you can tell somebody on a guideline saying, hey, don't do it that way because it can be dangerous. It depends what typically you're talking about, that you can emphasize on your mistake to that next person's mistake. But as we know as kids, our children are going to find out the hard way. We say, well, you may not listen to me now, but the world can show you better than I can tell you. So, everybody got to learn their mistakes too. I mean, I remember when I was little, my mom and them always say, don't smoke, don't do this, don't do that, you get lung cancer. They say it on the package. Smoking can be hazardous to your health and cause cancer. But yet we still want to get that Newport or that Cool or that Marlboro and smoke it up. Is that a mistake and you end up with cancer? Well, somebody caught cancer from those cigarettes, so they never would have been put on the package that it caused cancer, because there's been quite a few people catching cancer mistakenly from smoking. So that's a knowledgeable mistake. But yet, even though the signs are there saying don't do it, yet we do it. And yet we know people in our favorites philosophy is, well, I know so and so, he been smoking all his life and he ain't got cancer. Well, hey, lucky him. God bless him. God keep him. You take one toke, you got cancer in the brain, in the lung, in the butt, and everywhere else. Now, why did I get it? Hey, what lies for one, don't lies for you. So you see, these mistakes are good mistakes. There's knowledge behind each and every mistake, but everybody must make a mistake to learn what works for you. So don't down yourself on mistakes. Don't be scared to make a mistake. Make that mistake and learn from it. Long as you ain't taking a chance on your life. Now, I ain't saying run the stop sign and say, hey, I can make it through. We're not going, there's dumb mistakes too. So, we're not just going to be a fool and just say, hey, I can make some mistakes and do it. No, but you always want to try to do your best at what you do. A mistake is going to happen every now and then, but capitalize on it. Say, hey, this is just a building block in my pocket that I can know what not to do, and now I know how to do it. So don't be scared of a mistake. Make a few. Learn from them. Tell somebody about them. And that's my tip on mistakes. God bless you. God keep you. Love you all.